8 tournament continues in CWE, and I'm your host for it, Mike Young. Happy to be along for the ride as 8 wrestlers compete for this trophy and a shot at the CWE Championship. Earlier in round 1, we saw 4 outstanding contests. We saw Silas Young take out tasty Travis Cole, and we saw hotshot Danny Duggan battle Kazarian in a match where experience won out as Kazarian advanced to the semifinals, which brings us to our opening contest in the second round as 2 guys who are not unfamiliar with each other in any way. They've competed against each other in Ring of Honor, and they've been longtime tag team partners here in CWE, but several weeks ago we saw that team implode, accidentally as it were. There was no intention of them breaking up, but happenstance occurred, and we find ourselves with a team that's freshly off the rails and now competing one-on-one for a chance to get to the finals in the Elite 8 tournament. Silas Young goes one-on-one with Kazarian to kick off the second round. Let's go to the ring with Dynamite Dave Petro.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't mind telling you, I have been waiting for this matchup for quite some time to see these 2 fabulous stars in the ring at one time, in a CWE ring. I can't tell you the emotions that I'm going through. On my right is Frankie Kazarian, 2-time Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion, of course with Christopher Daniels, and the last real man in professional wrestling, the man hailing from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Silas Young, another great star. And these guys, and I do believe that Silas Young has his own cheering section in the front row. And I gotta tell you something, you might not agree with his tactics, but you have to agree with his pedigree, and you have to respect what he's accomplished in the world of professional wrestling. And now, both of these guys going through this tournament, the Elite 8, and we are off and running. And look at this, both men duking it out. I got to tell you something, these guys respect each other. They know each other's pedigree, but the Elite 8 tournament trophy to win this prestigious championship, this tournament, would really be another feather in the cap of both of these gentlemen. But one guy's going to have to survive. One guy's going to have to go through. Will it be Frankie Kazarian? Will it be Silas Young? Just stay tuned and we will find out. I am waiting to. The action has spilled out to ringside. And I got to tell you something, when all the marbles are on the line in the Elite 8 tournament, they're going to pull out all the stops. What a chop. What a chop by Kazarian. And this match has really taken a brawl's turn right now. Tosses him into that cinder block wall and smacks him with a paper plate, I guess. But that's just like slapping a guy in the face. That is just for insult purposes. But Silas Young taking kind of an offense to that right now. Referee letting this go. He knows what's on the line. He knows the fans don't want to see a double count. Oh! Referee Michael Draven showing a little discretion there, because maybe that would have caused a disqualification, but Michael Draven is trying to get these guys back into the ring. From my vantage point, I can barely see. Oh, into that wall. Ladies and gentlemen, there was no padding on a cinder block wall. The great fans getting out of the way. They'd be wise to, because you don't know where the action is going to spill to. Still to come on this broadcast, another big matchup. Tommy Lee Curtis taking on the gift Jason Kincaid. If this match can get it. Oh my! I don't need to describe what you fans just saw on your television screen on my monitor. Again, my view somewhat screwed from my broadcast vantage point right now. I'm watching the monitor. I'm watching what is going on here. This Elite 8 tournament matchup. Frankie Kazarian now in control. Silas Young now in control and tossing Kazarian into that hard ring apron. And both men are duking it out. Draven needs to get these guys back into the ring. It's not a false count anywhere matchup. You think it was, though, by the intense action going on right now. Oh! No give on that ring post. Kazarian shot hard into that one. That's caused some damage onto his shoulder, no doubt. But Silas Young now very, very proud of himself. And fans are absolutely going bananas right now. The referee, I think in other matches I might say they lost control, but I think he needs to get this one back into the ring. And Draven, yeah, oh no! Suplex! Hard onto the arena floor. Oh my word. Can't have a double count out because most of this match has been on the arena floor and near the concession area and in the fans. But I gotta tell you something, the fans are really loving it. I look at the smiles on the face of another capacity crowd here at our CWE Event Center. But for all both men want to advance in this tournament, and you see that they're throwing their bodies on the line for this. The last real man of professional wrestling, Silas Young, two-time Ring of Honor Tag Champion, Kazarian, both men getting back to their feet, crawling back into the ring, and both men hitting the ring at the same time. And yes, the fans are appreciative. They know what action they're going to see right now in this CWE ring, in this Elite 8 tournament. Oh, hard right hand, Kazarian delivering on Silas Young, the man from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Oh, another tremendous forearm. Both men duking it out right in the middle of the ring. They know what's at stake. They know that one of them will advance and perhaps go on to become the Elite 8 champion and join such luminaries as ATM, Anderson Tyson Moore, and Mentolo in capturing this great tournament. Both men know what this does to propel their career. Oh my word! Kazarian springing to life. 1, 2! Silas Young able to kick out at the count of 2. I am exhausted, and we're only 6 minutes into this matchup. Mike Jones, conspicuous by his absence once again in this broadcast position. Hopefully, I've received word that he may join us next week for the conclusion of this great tournament. 1, 2! Silas Young with another 2 count on Kazarian. Fans, the CWE getting set for another great summer program. Go to our website, cwecanada.ca, for all the great dates. And of course, always be ready for when you never know when a big rookie show could break out in beautiful downtown Transcona. Up and around, Silas Young hanging on. Kazarian flips back, comes for it, misses. Look at this, backslide. Oh, Young able to come out and comes up with a big boot right to the head of Kazarian. Fans, you might think if that's legal, it wasn't the toe of the boot, it was the flat. Come trying for a flying DDT. Comes back. Now is he going to get it? Oh, and just plants. Just plants Kazarian. Silas Young hooks the leg. 1, 2. Kazarian able to kick out at the count of 2. What a tremendous matchup. As I mentioned before, still to come, TLC taking on the gift, Jason Kincaid. That's coming up later in the broadcast, and what a huge boot delivered by Kazarian. And Silas Young goes hard into the turnbuckles, and here comes oh, my word! With the extra momentum, plants him with the DDT, and scores a 2 count. Kazarian may be a little bit upset with himself, not able to apply enough pressure to grab a 3 count and pull out the big victory. Dave Petro ringside, bringing you all this great action. Coming up, I thought he was going for an inverted atomic drop, but now he's got him over. Rolls right through. Look at this. Back, no, knee. Tries for a bit of a cutter, if you will. 1, 2. Wow. Both men exchanging 2 counts so far in this one. In my humble opinion, this one has been 50-50. If we had a point scale, I'd say this was even at this point. What's it going to take for one man to pull out the victory in this close contested Elite 8 matchup? Hard into the turnbuckle. No! Jumps. Gets him. Oh, my word! Inverted pile driver. 1, 2, and 3. No! Escapes at 2. Oh, he grabbed the ropes from where I was. I thought he kicked out. I'm at the opposite side of the ring fence. He grabbed that rope. Here comes Kazarian. Momentum now on his side. Off the ropes he comes up. And alley-oop onto the ring apron. Ducks it. Up. Oh! Leg drop. Silas Young is rocked. Here comes Kazarian. Tries for the spine. No! Pulls it up. Hooks the leg. And grabs the ropes. And we got a winner. We have got a winner. Silas Young pulling out all the stops. Grabbing that rope and not allowing Kazarian to kick out. Referee did not see it. And you see Draven grabbing the handle. Let's take a look at how he does. Up, over onto that ring apron. Here comes Kazarian after he ducks that shot. Leg drop. He's going to now propel himself over, hoping for the sunset flip. He gets it, but it's blocked by Silas Young. And Silas Young hooks that rope to get that 3 count. And we have Silas Young advancing into that Elite 8 tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, still a Ring of Honor Tag Team Champion, but Kazarian has something to say.
I've been known to use a couple underhand tactics in my day. So Silas Young, we'll dance again, my brother. If you want to cheat to win, that's fine. But one thing I'm going to say right now is that CWE never cheats its fans. Tonight, on behalf of Ring of Honor Wrestling, Silas Young, myself, and a young man who's going to be a huge star in this business, Leo Rush, came up here to entertain the fans of CWE Wrestling. Winnipeg, I've missed you. The weather's a lot nicer this time. So you know what? I'm not going to win that trophy this year. But how about I declare myself an interest in next year's tournament?
he have that I don't have?
Zubaz.
Rooms and accommodations for CWE events provided by the Travel Lodge.
How's everybody doing today?
How do you become a wrestler? The same way you become anything else. You have to go to school and work really, really, really hard.
The Elite Eight tournament continues, and I'm your host, Mike Young. What an opening contest to the second round. An unbelievable back-and-forth match from two guys who used to be tag team partners. You couldn't even tell. No love lost between Kazarian and Silas Young, with Silas Young advancing into the finals of the Elite Eight tournament. And now it's time to find out who he will face as we see TLC go one-on-one with Jason the Gift Kincaid. You know, when the first round began, I mentioned that third time could be a charm for Jason the Gift Kincaid. He avenged his loss in the first round that he suffered back in the Ring of Honor Top Prospect Tournament to Lio Rush. He evened out that series. As you remember, their second match was a draw. Jason Kincaid winning the most important match to date because Jason Kincaid is going to the semifinals against TLC in the Elite Eight tournament. So let's go to the ring. TLC, Jason Kincaid with Dynamite Dave Petro.
Thank you very much, Mike Young. The handshake to start this big matchup. We have got one half of the finals set. Silas Young will face one of these men in the Elite Eight tournament. And this is going to be another great matchup. The Gift, Jason Kincaid, taking on the very tall and very talented Tommy Lee Curtis. And the unorthodox Jason Kincaid. You never know what you're going to expect from this tremendous star. The respect is evident between these two men. And Tommy Lee Curtis just tossed him aside saying, bring it on. The Gift, Jason Kincaid, we have seen him over the past few years throughout the CWE. And now he hopes, and so does Tommy Lee Curtis, to go on to face Silas Young in the finals of the Elite Eight tournament. Fans, I can't stress strongly enough, when the CWE is in your area, you get out and you get to the arena and you watch these great stars of professional wrestling. Go to our website, cwecanada.ca, for all the great details. And of course, join us on social media. We've got a presence on Instagram, Twitter, and of course our very popular Facebook page. Oh, slicking himself up a little bit. I gotta tell you, and he gets out of it. He might have greased himself up a little bit and was able to get out of that side headlock on Tommy Lee Curtis. And Tommy Lee Curtis perhaps showing a bit of frustration, grabbing that left arm of the Gift, Jason Kincaid. And Jason Kincaid is gonna get out of it again. Look at this. Takes out that mouthpiece. And the fans, that's a beard pull out of nowhere. Not exactly in the rule book of professional wrestling, pulling the beard, but perhaps a little frustration being shown by the big man. Former tag champ, Tommy Lee Curtis. But he says, okay, I got you. Let's get this thing back on track. A true sportsman handshake. And I know that Tommy Lee Curtis, that's really not who he is with the beard pull, but that had to come out of left field, showing a little bit of frustration. Both men know what's on the line. Both men know that one of these guys, one of these wrestlers, one of these tremendous athletes will go on to face Silas Young in the finals of this great tournament. Greco-Roman knuckle lock. And of course, Tommy Lee Curtis, TLC, having a bit of an advantage on the gift Jason Kincaid by height and outweighing him by some 40 pounds in this matchup. It gets out, little kick to the guts. Ah! That wasn't an eye poke, but that was something out of the Three Stooges movie. Look at this! Defying balance, laws of gravity. Not able to quite pull that off like he wanted to, but now, with an arm drag and getting himself out of that predicament, the gift, Jason Kincaid, and now, both feet planted on the midsection of Tommy Lee Curtis and getting himself a seat in the front row. These fans are loving this action. Man, oh man alive, you're not going to see anything better than this. Except right here in the CWE, Tommy Lee Curtis catching the flying Jason Kincaid and propping him up now in that turnbuckles, hooking the legs. And Tommy Lee Curtis with a bit of a misstep and comes back now and deliver a leg drop right on point. Pulling him up, hooking the leg, and getting a 2 count on the gift Jason Kincaid. And now going back with the front face lock as he perhaps gathers a bit of time to plan a little bit more strategy. I don't know how you would do this. Fans, I've been around professional wrestling for a long, long time, dating back to 1981, where I stepped foot first in the ring. But I do not know, calling on my vast experience and hours of watching and calling matches, being in the locker rooms, being at ringside, being in the vehicles going up and down the roads, training with some of these guys. I don't know how I would prepare for a match with the likes of a Jason Kincaid, because you cannot describe his style. It is so unorthodox. He'll hit you with a chop. He'll hit you with a leg drop. He'll hit you with a double foot stomp. He'll fly all over the ring, and you don't know where he's coming from. You ask for a left, he might give you a right. Hard in the turnbuckles. Comes back. Tommy Lee Curtis doesn't fall for the bait. Comes back with a German suplex. And now hooking the leg with a 1 and a 2 count. And they give Jason Kincaid able to kick out at the count of 2. One of these men will go on to face Silas Young in the finals of the Elite 8 tournament. And the legs of Kincaid knocking down our referee, Kenny Rogers. And no referee to count right now. I don't think it was deliberate. Look at this! Nate Hardy, the former tag partner, and has issues with Tommy Lee Curtis, and just cracks him out of nowhere with Tommy Lee Curtis's gimmick bottle. And up! Oh my word! Nate Hardy, we have not seen him for months in the CWE, and props Jason Kincaid on top and pushes 1, 2, and Jason Kincaid, if I can read his mind, I'm not going to put thoughts into his head, but I do not think he wants to accept a victory that way. Kudos and props to the gift Jason Kincaid. Wrestling's strongest man. Tyler Colton tossing Nate Hardy into the ring. And the gift Jason Kincaid taking care of Nate Hardy. Ladies and gentlemen, where did that come from? Tyler Colton, as I said, wrestling's strongest man, comes out of nowhere and gets a little justice in this one. And I think both men are back on point here. If you missed it, Jason Kincaid did not want to take a tainted victory. Allows Tommy Lee Curtis to get back up. Damage perhaps already been done. Appreciation shown. Says that, but they know what's on the line. Both men know what's on the line. This match back on track. And Jason Kincaid now delivering it. Enough of the niceties, if you will. Tommy Lee Curtis with a big elbow. Kincaid comes back with a big kick. I've been around professional wrestling a lot. I don't need to document that, but I've never seen anything like that in my life. And now, the gift Jason Kincaid comes back with a couple of big shoulder blocks. I think he just called TLC ugly. And comes back. TLC roll up from behind. 1, 2. No, he doesn't get a 2 count. He just picks him up. Oh my, just plants him. And Kincaid able to kick out of the count of 2. Fans, I've covered a lot of wrestling, and this match has perhaps been one of the most entertaining matches I have ever seen. Tommy Lee Curtis, the gift Jason Kincaid on the line. Advancement in the Elite 8 tournament. TLC back to his feet. Kincaid struggling now to get back up. Eyeing him up, measuring him up. Could this be it? Tommy Lee Curtis now, recovering now, comes at, charges at him. Up, over, elbow, off the ropes. No, what is he doing? Oh my word! That is a 18-foot ring, and Kincaid launching himself and toss right both feet into Tommy Lee Curtis, and now going up to the top. Oh, both feet. Hooks the leg, 1, 2, and 3. The gift Jason Kincaid will advance into the Elite 8 tournament. Ladies and gentlemen, what a matchup with everything on the line. Jason Kincaid refusing to take a tainted victory when Nate Hardy intervened, stopping the count. Tommy Lee Curtis then got back to his feet. The match continued, and you hear the music. You hear the man originally from Honolulu, Hawaii, now calling West Virginia home. The gift Jason Kincaid advancing into that tournament. Disappointment on the face of Tommy Lee Curtis. And ladies and gentlemen, we will have for you next week the finals. Silas Young versus the gift Jason Kincaid. Dave Petro saying good night from CWE Adrenaline. What a match. Oh.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following. For all your CWE news, updates, and information, check us out online, on social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and at our website, cwecanada.ca.